Brexit.
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 Breakfast. Brexit.
For post-Brexit.
After breakfast. Not breakfast. That'd be Brexit.
We've been hearing the word Brexit for a while now.
Brexit means Brexit.
It's the United Kingdom's intention to leave the European Union. For the past 2.5 years, the UK is trying to figure out a way to leave with a deal that'll keep both Britain and the EU happy, but it just doesn't know how to make it happen. So let's try to make sense of the whole thing. Where are we now? Despite this,
Any extension to Article 50, anything like that, reopens the negotiations, reopens the deal. And at that point, the deal can go, frankly, in any direction.
and this
is the worst defeat of a government this century.
and many other attempts, the UK is still no nearer to a deal than they were the day after the referendum on June 24, 2016. The Brexit deal itself has 3 main areas, all of which need to be agreed upon before March 29. The rights of EU and UK citizens, the financial settlement of $50 billion to leave the EU, the hard border, also known as the backstop. So what is the backstop? Currently, the UK and Ireland, including Northern Ireland, are all part of the Single Market and Customs Union, so there are very few restrictions on goods and services traded between them. A Brexit will mean that the UK and Northern Ireland will be leaving the customs union, but Ireland won't be. So products moving between the two sides will need to be checked at the border. But the EU and the UK don't want this to happen. But according to the UK's red lines, a Brexit will mean leaving the customs union and the single market. And this is why they cannot reach a deal. So what happens if politicians still can't reach a deal and don't agree to the backstop? Then there are 5 options: no deal, renegotiate, referendum, general election, no confidence vote. No deal. This is the most feared and unwanted option. It means the UK will leave the EU without any deal at 11 GMT on March 29, 2019. This will impact both trade and the cross-border movements of EU and UK citizens who will need to apply for a residence permit or a long-stay visa depending on their circumstances. The country will also go back to trading under rules set by the World Trade Organization. European goods will be more expensive for UK citizens and vice versa. While the current EU tariffs are just under 2%, under the rules of the WTO, cars would be taxed at 10% and tariffs on dairy products could rise to 35%. The Bank of England has warned that a no-deal Brexit would be worse for the UK economy than the 2008 financial crisis. Renegotiation. The government can propose to renegotiate a completely new Brexit deal if the EU agrees to renegotiate. With this, the UK's exit can be postponed, and the Parliament can vote on a new deal. If it passes, a renegotiation deal will be implemented, but if the EU refuses to renegotiate, it goes back to the other options. Referendum. The government can choose to hold a referendum on Brexit. If it does, the UK's exit can be postponed, and there will be another referendum. General election. If more than 2/3 of the Parliament agree to it, there can be a general election. The UK's exit can be postponed and a general election will be held. The new government will try to figure out what to do with Brexit. Vote of no confidence. The main opposition party, the Labour Party, can call for a no confidence vote against May's government. If she survives the confidence vote, they'll take a look at the other options. Again. There will be a general election and the new government will inherit the mess. By the way, there is also one other possibility. The UK can unilaterally give up on Brexit. But according to the European Court of Justice, this would be illegal unless abandoning Brexit is decided by a referendum.